Hello and welcome, I'm Liam the Music Reviewer. Siri, what's the best Radiohead album?
Kid
What's the best Radiohead album?
In Rainbows,
What's the best Radiohead album?
Jimmy Neutron.
That's better. And today we're going to be talking about a record that I didn't think I'd be discussing at all, or at least if I was going to, it would have been in a different capacity, like X albums and Y minutes, and that is the album Acts of Fear and Love by Slaves. For those not in the know, Slaves are a punk duo from Britain. They came about in 2012 with their debut EP Sugar Coated Bitter Truth, which for my money is their best release. I saw them in 2014, which is when I was made aware of them. Saw them play at the Troxy in London supporting Biffy Clyro. Was a great show. They are a very energetic band and just very kind of charismatic. It was kind of a joy to watch them. So they were on my radar then. Checked them out when their 2015 debut record came out, Are You Satisfied? An album that I loved a lot when it came out, but since revisiting it, especially when I was going from a whole 2015 revisiting thing, I'm not as big on it now. I think the political commentary that they're going for is a little bit shallow at points, especially because they seem to like pride themselves on being that sort of like outspoken band, and I thought it was just kind of like a one note record, bar the song Are You Satisfied. It was there wasn't so much variety, even in their punk sound. It was quite bar maybe some like surrealist humorous elements, not much, but it's still a fun, nice album. I definitely wouldn't say that I dislike it or that I'm meh on it. I do like it, but not nearly as much as I used to. Then the sophomore record, Take Control, came out just a year later in 2016. It went on far longer. It was kind of really dragged out. They were trying to tinker with some hip hop elements, due to bringing in one of the Beastie Boys in for it, which is pretty cool. Can't remember specifically which Beastie Boys member it was. Chuck up on screen just now, but yeah, was more of a mixtape in hindsight, and that's not just me saying it. That's what the band themselves basically said. How it wasn't really like a proper album. So 2 years later, 2018, third album's coming out, and what have Laurie and Isaac done differently this time round? And it seems that they're trying to go for more of a Britpop sound at points here, to the extent where you maybe like go like scratch your head and think to yourself, did Damon Albarn have some sort of writing credit on here? Especially with the song Chokehold, which it kind of like it seems to be like bogged down by how similar it is. That, in addition to how I feel it's quite similar to the song Max Can't Surf by Fiddler. Yeah, listen to that song, listen to that, listen to Chokehold. Especially in the melody, you'll see a huge similarity. And this isn't to say like, oh, the Slaves copied it. I just think that it's coincidental how similar both of them sound. That song itself isn't bad by any means, but it's decent. But like, it does feel like it's been held back by how obviously influenced isn't really doing much now with it. There's more punk songs on here though. There's Bugs, which again is kind of like to the point with its chorus, like Another Let Down Generation. You can see that being like quite a kind of like call to arms for like the youth and all that. There's also the song Artificial Intelligence, which like kind of tangos with like a kind of like more grungier sound as well, though the lyrical core of this song just seems to be a bit kind of like done to death, as well as the fact that like a lot of sort of like elements that Slaves always seem to tinker with, like the clunky guitars and all that, like they almost sound like identical. Like, not to say that every clunky guitar sounds the same, but like there's that whole sort of like effect where it just like, even though they're trying to obviously progress, like these are things that they used on their first album, and they're things that like they could have done even like a bit more differently. So that's something like that whole similarity kind of like bugged me a little bit. There is the other song, The Lies They Wish They Had, which just has like a really really catchy kind of chorus of just the lives they wish they had. But again, it sounds like the duo just like finished like a Black Mirror Fight Club back-to-back billing sort of thing, talking about like people buying things that they can't afford to please people that they don't like. It's all pretty sort of like, yeah, like kind of done to death. But I do think this is a song where Slave's wit really does show off, especially Isaac. His delivery is a lot more kind of like Russell Brandy at points as well. He's just a lot more playful. And I should mention just like how beforehand on Are You Satisfied, like title track was him trying to like sing it. It did sound really rough. I guess some people might say like, oh, that means that there's that whole kind of like just kind of more rough aesthetic to that album, even though that was quite well produced as far as I remember. But there's songs like Daddy which are a lot more reserved, restricted, held back. One of the better songs on here, it just sees Slaves like kind of document this father figure who is like just basically having this midlife crisis, just doing things that are quite offish. It's obviously kind of like something that I don't know how autobiographical it all is, but it's still like kind of like it's sort of sad to like hear about it, especially because it seems like it's coming from like sort of like a child perspective as well. And then there's the other song, Photo Opportunity, which I'm hesitant to call restricted or like a bit more timid, because there are these points where like the guitars just utterly thrash out and Isaac is just letting out these big huge shouts of what shall we do today, and it just I can tell this will be like a song that will sound amazing live. And just what they're talking about here is really just sort of it's not like how you usually get these kind of songs where it's people just talking about like, oh, I hate the money, like look at all the problems I've got now. It's not kind of like that. Like it seems like they're quite aware of how lucky they are to like be making money, or the amount that they are. Like they're saying like how their pockets are full, and that and they can use like pathetic fallacy to like just kind of balance out like, oh, we are very lucky, we are like happy to be doing what we're doing and be able to make a living off of it, but like it doesn't make it any more dreary with like not really having much of like a like privacy anymore, which I found just like the way they went about it, like yeah, maybe that topic has been done quite a fair bit, but I just like how they went about doing it, and it did feel like a song that maybe wouldn't have fit too well on other releases, so I need to give them credit where credit's due. Is there any other sort of songs that I could talk about here? I don't really think there is. The other songs here like Cut and Run, like they're quite catchy in that. Most of their songs are just decent. They're not really like a bad song. Some of them are a bit kind of forgettable. I can't really remember all that much about the title track, which seems to be kind of like trying to take like it sounds like quite a centrist approach in that, which I find just kind of like a sort of bit. I just found it like kind of like a bit dull for them. I thought it could be a lot more driven. But I guess that's just my own take of that. Maybe just be kind of like my own bias kind of coming out there. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, the band they're definitely trying to make progress, but I feel like they could start to just kind of do more of their own stuff. I feel like the Brit pop thing was kind of just like seeing a bit kind of like a rose tinted move. I think the slower points, when that's sort of, like I say, the more restricted bits, I think they did that really well. It kind of shows a different side to them, so it doesn't feel like they're being so one note and just doing the same shtick all the time. But even then, some of the punk songs here like Bugs or most notably Artificial Intelligence, even though I do enjoy, well, at least Bugs anyway, I do think that like there are these kind of like tropes of slaves that are like keep popping up, and I really hope that on the next album they're just not as present, because it does it makes it feel like they're not really evolving all that much. And just politically wise, like there's bands like Idols and Sleaford Mods, and even not as like new, but like still like Enter Shikari, like they're obviously talking about things that really do need discussing and that haven't been done so much, and their whole attitude obviously like lends some sort of like excitement factor to it. And I do think Slaves could easily join the ranks of these bands if they just sort of like, again, like obviously this break has obviously benefited. My Fitness is almost as good as their debut album, and I'm happy to be looking forward to material from them. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, try and like scrub out the sort of the trope that these are going for. Don't go for the Britpop sound, because I do feel like it is just a bit kind of gimmicky. Keep going with these slower songs. I really do think they benefit you, especially Isaac, whose voice, especially when he's singing, is just a lot more endearing and nicer. I think that's really all. They're like my three sort of like big sort of like building factors if they're going to watch this video and go like, okay, we'll do what you said now. But it's good that they take on the feedback, like especially with Take Control. Like, this is a lot like a leaner project. Like it's a lot more compact. It's like 9 tracks, 30 minutes. Like it's definitely they're on the right track. Time will only tell if they come out with like a truly great project. But I like this a lot more than I expected. I'm feeling a light 6 on this album. If you guys listen to it, let me know your favourite songs, your worst songs. Links to stream and bio will be down in the description below, along with links to my social media, my website Transistor, and also to Anti-Liam's Spotify account, or at least his Twitter, where he posts all of this stuff. He's not really got much else going on in that hotel. I'm surprised they've got good Wi-Fi. I would have thought that they would have cut that off with the whole siege, but oh well. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. As always, stay safe and stay hydrated.
And I'm thinking,
lights are blinding my eyes.
they said they'd be here, they said in the corner. And I'm thinking,
People pushing by, then walking off into the